I was caller previously. We were talking about the goings on in Washington, and this crop of conservative leaders such as yourself. I said they understand the first rule of politics, which is you're either moving the ball on them or they're moving the ball on you. You get that. You get that intuitively, and obviously it's harder to do from the position of the minority. But you're making great strides, and I expect you'll be in the majority in not too terribly long here, Andy. But one of the things you were doing was taking a delegation down to the border because you needed to highlight and wanted to highlight what's going on down there. And Joe Biden has issued a bunch of executive orders that are undermining all that. Tell us about it all.
Yeah, it seems like so long ago, but it was just a few days ago. I had 8 members of Congress with myself down on the border. And, we saw the 450 miles, not all of it, but a significant portion of the fencing that the president's policies had put in. And I'll tell you, it makes a huge difference. In talking to folks down there, it's slowed things down. But the problem, of course, is they had gaps in there, and they weren't able to finish. They had built infrastructure in order to put more fencing down, and Joe Biden basically pulled the plug immediately. And so you have one of the places we went to had literally dozen or more heavy equipment machinery sitting idle. You had thousands of people who've lost their jobs, and our border's less secure and safe now because of this administration's policies. They're ratcheting up catch and release. They're ratcheting up asylum. They're ratcheting up sanctuary cities. They're ratcheting up. They're easing up, I should say, refugee and asylum criterion to get into the country illegally. They've already put in. They anticipate there'll be a surge. They've already put into service again another unaccompanied minor facility in Texas, Carrizo Springs, which incidentally, under President Trump's administration, the same people that are lauding Biden's approach to immigration called that same facility a detention facility.
Correct.
And now that it's under Biden, it's not a detention facility. It's a temporary housing for children.
Yeah, all you do. Yeah, right. No, right. Of course. So you're not. I mean, this is governance by euphemism, Andy.
Right.
I was privileged to have you take me on a visit of the border, tour of the border, about a little over a year ago, was it? I don't remember exactly, about a year and a half ago.
That's about right.
And it was so darned enlightening. And I think I asked you at the time, and I think you said at the time, I think I asked you and you responded, have you ever been privileged enough to take Democrats on this tour? And you said you've invited and they don't come. And the reason I ask that, Andy, is do you think there are Democrats in the House or even maybe in the Senate who are with you on the position of the border and illegal immigration? And the reason I ask that is, with the Democrats in charge of the House and Senate right now and White House, why is Joe Biden using executive orders?
Well, I do think that there might be a few in the House that are with me. Not many. And if they are, they've been scared into silence by Pelosi.
There's that, yeah, right.
Yeah, I would just say, I got to give you this example because this drives me crazy because I'm always asked, can you work with people on the other side?
Right.
Yeah, well, so I had my LD, my legislative director, reach out to staff on the other, a member of our delegation who's a Democrat on the other side. I said, we introduced this last year, this individual co-sponsored. Let's go ahead and see if we can get those co-sponsors back on this legislation. And my legislative director was told in no uncertain terms that if you're a Republican and you are on the other side of an issue, you can't. They won't work with you.
Really?
In judiciary, they want to take out a reference to God when you're being sworn in.
Oh, good Lord.
And so we have an amendment to say, whatever, so help me God, or, I affirm or swear before God that I'll tell you this whole truth, never the truth.
Right.
And Democrats want to take that out, so we put it in. And so that was what that vote was for. And they were
Are they really bothering us with this? They are really spending our time on this kind of stuff? My God.
So, well, we decided, okay, well, let's. I mean, they claim they want unity. One thing we could do to have unity is just pledge the allegiance when we come to a judicial committee hearing.
Sure.
Oh, they said no, can't do that. Okay, you can't pledge allegiance to the flag when you come into the judiciary.
Boy, you would have thought Democrats learned when Dukakis fell on that one, but maybe it's a different country.
So,
it's a different country? It might be a different country.
It is, and we're seeing it happen so fast, Seth. Not to change that we were talking about the border, but
that's right.
But you're seeing this happen so fast that the attack on the border. We go into depth and detail about that, but I guarantee you, the number of unaccompanied children that we had in 2019 was over 450,000 unaccompanied minors. It will be well above that during this fiscal year.
Of course.
Because of what they're doing.
Yeah,
and that means
magnetizing them, right? They're creating a magnet. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and these kids, many of them will be abused in this trafficking. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan here, the immigration plan that he has, is gonna cause that. And we can't seem to get our counterparts to understand that the cartels really do control the other side of the border.
Oh, they do. You showed it to me. I saw it with my own two eyes. We were there with several other reporters, what you might call more in the mainstream vein of things. But I remember we saw people crossing, Andy. Remember, we watched it happen.
Yes.
And we saw a man and a woman and like two kids with backpacks. And the reporter, one of these mainstream reporters, said to me, "Well, there goes a family." And I said, "How do you know that's a family? You have no idea if that's a family. It's likely not a family." And it turned out it wasn't.
That's correct.
We have to hold them accountable.
And we only can keep them for 20 days trying to figure out whether they're a family or not.
Right. All right. You'll keep them honest. You'll stay close to us, Andy.